Hi, everyone, and I'm Denise Meredith, CEO of the World's Best Connectors, and we're really excited today to have a special guest, Clifford Starks. And people that may remember, World's Best Connectors used to have podcasts every month. Well, we're going to pick that up again and invite some very special guests that are here in Arizona, but also nationwide that can talk to you about how they made it, how they persevered, how they overcame why they are where they are. And I'm so excited to meet Clifford today because he's in sort of an unusual sport that we don't get too many people on. They usually like football, and yeah, I'm tired of that, soccer, and tired of that stuff. Anyway, we wanted to hear about something different today. So welcome, Clifford. Glad to have you.
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Great. People who know about me and know about our logo, Marvel, DC Comics, very into comic world. So in comic book world, every superstar has their own origin story. So I thought we'd start off today with finding out what your origin story is, Clifford.
Yeah,
Where you're born, where you went to school, all of that stuff.
yeah. I was born in California, raised in Arizona. I've been out in Arizona since I was seven. And I'll share, I wouldn't have known this if I didn't get the coaching that I've gotten in my journey. But four, five, and six really invented Cliff to the Cliff that you know today. And so when I was four, my first father ended up leaving out of my life, but he left me a very important lesson, and that was there was a Ghostbuster ride that I wanted to get on, and he didn't get on the Ghostbuster ride with me, and I was too scared to get on it myself. I still think about that Ghostbuster ride to this day. I'm 44 years old, but anyway,
It
um,
happens, right?
I took that as I'm never going to let fear stop me from getting to where I want to go. So it was a very impactful lesson for me. When I was five, my grandfather passed away. It scared the crap out of me because I knew that one day that I would die. And when I was six, my mom remarried to the guy I call dad to this day. And he's been with me ever since. And there were times where I really didn't know if he was going to come or stay. I really was like, he'll probably leave like the other one left. And he stayed. And so I took these lessons on as there's people who are supposed to be there for you, quote unquote, supposed to be there for you, and they're not going to be there for you. And then there's people who don't have to be there for you, and they're going to be there for you, and we're all going to die. So live life as fully and powerfully and as impactfully as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. Friends tease me because I always say, well, in case I get run over by a truck, this is what, and they said, why do you keep saying that? And I go, I don't know. It's just something that may happen to you, particularly here in Phoenix, right? So you might as well live every day. Or, I talk about people not, on their deathbed. You don't want to talk about, well, I got out 7,000 emails, right?
Yeah,
Want to talk
yeah,
about the trip that you made to Disney World, or the time you went to Italy, or the graduation of your only son, things like that. So
absolutely,
appreciate
absolutely.
what you're doing. Well, boxing and martial arts, they're not NCAA sanctioned sports, right? And not that many people go into boxing anymore. Of course, I am a boomer, so um, we had a lot of stars in boxing, Muhammad Ali,
Mm-hmm.
etc. But why and how did you get into boxing?
So yeah, I was MMA, and it's similar, but in MMA we use our legs, our knees, our elbows, the whole nine, and there can be more blood depending on who's fighting who. Um, but what got me into that, I like doing really hard things,
Okay.
and I didn't realize how hard it was until I tried it. Because I tend to go into everything that way. Like I try something and go, oh, that was harder than I thought. Well, fighting was one of the hardest things that I've ever done. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really tough. I want to do more of that.
That's very, that's pretty
Yeah.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
martial arts, did you start um was there a class you went into or you were passing by the shop,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
working out
So
or how did you go?
well, I did have a wrestling background,
Okay.
and some
Oh,
of the former wrestlers that I wrestled with had already gone into MMA and performed very high in the MMA world, like Ryan Bader, CB Dollaway, Cain Velasquez, and I ended up going to a gym called LA Boxing. That's where I first started at it, and I got my first taste of what it really consisted of. But yeah, when I go into something, I test it, but I also have an intention, right? Like, well, not really. Actually, let me take that back. I test it to see how well I could fare in it. And then if I can fare in it, I'll have an intention from there. And so I went into it, I tried it out. I realized I was much worse than I thought I was. It happens every time. Don't know why that is. Well, yeah, I do because whenever I'm new to something, I'm not good at it.
okay.
And so I got into it. I was terrible. And I like getting good in things I'm not good at. Like I like learning the lessons. Now, here's where it gets interesting, just to tie in my entrepreneurial journey with it. There's a saying, every master was once a disaster. And so I do my best to go from disaster to master in really hard things, the difficult things that people don't want to do and people don't want to try. And so that's what really drove me to go after that and attempt.
Great. Well, MMA, it's not a team sport. Okay. So it's very personal, right?
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, I met Dr. Judith Robles, who is
Hmm.
mother of Anthony, who is
Hmm.
famous wrestler, and she talked about the importance of not giving up. Um, so who or what, tell us about some of the people who inspired you about to keep doing what you're doing.
Wow. Great question. I'm inspired by everything. Jesus inspires me because he was a perfect individual and he showed us how capable we all are. That's what I ultimately think Jesus came from. He came from showing us our capability and also showing us our ability to love. That's from my belief systems. I don't attack anyone else's belief systems for believing what they want to believe, but that's what I stand for. An individual who can be stronger than the situation itself. And in seeing it that way, everyone and everything inspires me. My haters inspire me. The ones who are saying, you can't do this, you can't do that, because it allows me to be intentional with what I want to do instead of listening to them. The people who believe in me inspire me. The people who guide me inspire me. And the other guy on the other side of the cage inspires me because they want the same thing I want, and we get to see who had the better strategy that night. So everything is a form of inspiration to me as I go through my journey.
That's great. Speaking of inspiration, what three pieces of advice would you have for younger athletes? As you know, World's Best Connectors, we're into helping uh, student athletes not
Yeah.
only succeed at what they're doing in sports, but to succeed after sports. And so, what three pieces
So
of advice might you have for them?
yeah, I have three pieces that have really I navigate with these regularly and would hope that they would do the same. And that is, one is your attitude. And you can choose to have a good attitude or choose to have a bad attitude. I like having a good attitude because it's good for my heart, it's good for my mind, it's good for my immune system. It's good for everything. And Having a good attitude doesn't mean not seeing the bad stuff. It just means it's seeing as many pieces that you can see and controlling what you can control. When you focus on what you can control, you can have a good attitude. If you try focusing on what you can't, attitude's probably not going to be so
Not gonna help.
good. The second piece, your inputs and your outputs. Measure your inputs and measure your outputs. And also make sure you're getting the right inputs. So find the guidance to make sure you're getting the right inputs so that you can measure the right outputs. Because if you have a bad input, you're going to have a bad output every single time. So, and I'll give an example of that real quick. When I was in MMA, I trained for MMA. I didn't say, I want to be an MMA fighter. Let me go swim over here. Like that would not really, that kind of defeats the purpose. And I give a big one, but it's the small ones that we can miss. Where we go, well, I want to train MMA, but I want to hang out with my friends and I want to do all this stuff over here and I want to do everything counts. So measure it and ask yourself, is this what I really want to do? Whatever that thing is, be intentional with what you're going after. And the third piece of advice, know your environment and get in the right environment. Just like a football player, if they're running on wet grass without cleats, it's not a very good look. The same thing with an MMA fighter where in a faulty, negative environment with people who don't have their back. Like, I'll give you an example. You're right. There is one person going in the arena, Denise, but it is a team sport in the fact of having the right support systems, the right sparring partners, the right coaches, the right all that other stuff, so that when you do go into the arena, you know that you're ready and you know that you're prepared because you were in the right environment to prepare. So find those environments that actually serve you and don't bring you down.
Sounds good. And I've been working with parents of athletes since about
Hmm.
2004. And people
Hmm.
go, oh my God, how do you do that? But anyway, the image of parents in athletics is unfortunately due to the media, and I'm a media person, so I can blame them as well. Because they like sensationalism, they like chaos.
Yeah.
So parents can be good at that, right? In defending their child. But I've found that most of the parents I've dealt with through the years have been very hardworking, really want their kids to
Nice.
get what the kids want to succeed. So,
That's awesome.
do you have any advice for parents?
Yeah. Um, Thank you for asking that question. I've been a parent. I have a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old right now. And there's two things for a kid to have success. And this isn't just from me being a parent. This is from me learning, researching, understanding, being a kid myself. And I say there's two things that a kid needs. One, talk to them a lot, explain things to them, support them, answer their questions. And two, love them and love them in a way where they know that they're loved. Because love can be very abstract if we don't explain what that is. But me and Denise, I'll just play an example right now. Denise, what do you love to do?
Movies, probably, is my favorite.
Movies.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Not to mention not
So
sports. I love sports. I love going to sporting events, but but
I love it. I love it.
outside of sports,
Yeah.
I love
And knowing like, okay, she loves movies. And I'm gonna go with a movie. So if I see Denise and be like, hey, you want to see such and such movie? Or maybe there's a movie that I really, really like. And now I'll even go a step further and ask, what kind of movies? Is there any specific type of movie that you love?
Yeah, I like action movies. So well, yes, while they can be in the Comic-Con world, they are also I like dramas and uh CSI, that type of thing. So
You and
this
my wife would get along great.
oh good.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Well, let's check out one soon.
Yeah. Yeah. And
It's,
so in knowing that, um, if I happen to see a movie that would be good for Denise or that I think Denise would appreciate, I could share that with her. And that's a form of love. That's how simple it is. Taking the time to listen to someone, figuring out what they like, figuring out what they love, and being there for them and supporting that love.
that's great advice, and it's pretty ironic because my last question,
Mhm.
going in the same direction, is, do you have a favorite superhero, and who that
Ooh,
is and why?
I love Superman so much. And
So do
I
I.
love Batman. Yeah, and I'll share because I'm like, I'm split. And this is why I'm split.
Okay.
My brother cannot stand Superman. And I get it. Because he goes, Superman can do anything and everything, and that's bullcrap. But he's so morally just. He's just a kind individual who wants the best for people, who's also always learning and growing. He's a powerhouse, but he's a powerhouse who's kind and who cares. And I love Batman because Batman is the most limited, non-limited superhero. He's a human being who's a billionaire, so that's not very limited either. When you really think about it, that's a lot of resources. But he's a human being who doesn't have the superpowers that these other people have, but he has a super mind,
Right.
and he can outthink anybody.
Mhm.
And he can figure out, and he creates little gadgets and gizmos and figures out how to be a foe to anybody. Like he's dangerous for anybody. So yeah, I love them both. I love Superman and I love Batman for their differences.
Yeah, well, Superman's my favorite because I didn't have a choice growing up. We had one superhero. DC Comics had one superhero. Then Wonder Woman, of course, came along later.
Yep.
But
Yep.
uh, he's still to this day, they're still fumbling and trying to get him right. Christopher,
Yeah.
believe it or not, went to Cornell like I did, same time.
Oh, nice. Very
So
cool.
it's fascinating to see where people wind up later, right? And
It is.
so I
Yeah.
have that attachment to that series as well. But yeah, Superman, and that's to me what's missing now is his um, devotion to justice
Mhm.
and the
Yep.
American way, the real American way. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
with freedoms and treating people equally, et cetera, et cetera.
100%.
Younger people don't quite get him, right? And so we won't bother to show them the TV series because that would really turn them off. The original TV series with Steve Reeves, but we'll do that. But anyway, really appreciate you having being here with us today. Uh,
Yeah.
Great interview, and we look forward
Thank you,
to
Denise.
with you in the future. And again, everyone, what we're working on right now is business education for student athletes and their parents, because our goal is to create 1,000 new businesses here in the United States.
Let's
So,
do it. I
okay,
love it. Well,
thank you.
thank you. And everybody, thank you for listening.
Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.
Have a great one, everyone.